Thank you. I know, right? Good morning and happy Saturday, everybody. Oh, we have more people joining. Okay, I'm not going to get squirreled. I'm going to leave that in Sunshine's hands. I'm going to release the control. Good morning and happy Saturday, you guys. I am so excited about today's call, all on momentum and excitement and energy. Let's get that energy going. Um, True story. My husband is currently golfing and my mom's out of town. So if a toddler comes busting in here, I just apologize in advance. But you know what? This is real life. This is real life. So for those who are watching the call and who don't know me, my name is Gloria McLean and I am a platinum leader with Young Living. And I have been very lucky to experience this business in both maximum momentum and in this. So I speak from experience. I speak from experience in what I was doing when there was momentum and then what we were doing when there was like this. Okay. So looking at it and observing it. I've got some really, really great tips for you today. Unfortunately, Lisa is not going to be on the call today. Her little one is not feeling good. So she's taking care of her baby, but we're going to rock this out. Okay. Who's ready? Who's feeling excited? Yes. Okay. So the first thing you need, and this is going to sound like you've heard it a million times, but it's the most important thing, is you need belief in yourself and belief in what you're doing. Because if you don't have those two things, you're not going to take the action that we're going to talk about. Am I right? It's like if you don't believe your car is going to make a trip to California because it's like it breaks down, it's maybe not reliable, you don't really trust it. Are you going to like pack up your vehicle and take your maps and go for a drive? You're probably just going to stay home because you're like, I know what this vehicle is going to do. It's going to break down. It's not going to get me there. So if we don't have belief in our vehicle, AKA ourselves, right? If we don't have belief, we're not going to take the action. So it starts with belief. It really does. And I'm going to show you guys a little way that we can like implant some more belief and some more safety in the system at the end of the call. Okay. So if you're like, oh my gosh, but I don't have that, it's okay. Guess what? We can create it. Everything is a skill. Confidence is a skill. Belief is a skill. I didn't have all that before this journey. So guess what? You guys, we can create it. We can create a new identity every day. You don't have to be attached to what you've been. Okay. We can create a new car and make that trip. So belief is number one. And the reason I say that is because when I first started this business and I was like, I'm deciding I'm all in, there was not an ounce of doubt in me that we were going to be a silver team. I saw Lisa do it. I knew I could do it. There wasn't even any doubts, which is really crazy to me now because when I look back, I had nobody to talk to about Young Living. I lived in a small town where I was new to the town. I literally didn't know anybody. And the people I did know made fun of Young Living, made fun of network marketing, like very aggressively to my face. And that should have been the thing that made me like quit and run right there, right? Like, but it didn't. I just had this inner knowing, and that's what pulled me forward. And that's what I did classes where I would have no shows. I did that, you guys. Like I had moments of I don't have anyone else to talk to. I have lived through all of it, okay? And all of it was limiting beliefs. But the reason that I kept showing up was I had this knowing, and me continuing to show up no matter what, even when I didn't know how it would work out. Pro tip, you're never going to know how. You're never going to know the how. So if you're sitting there trying to think of the how, you're in your head. And as Tony Robbins says, if you're in your head, you're dead, right? Because if I would have thought about that at the beginning of my journey, well, who's going to sign up with me? Well, who will come to my classes? If I would have thought about all those little details, I would have not taken the action at all because it wouldn't have felt worth it. And I was busy already. I was running a business for somebody else, making somebody else's dreams come true, making somebody else money. So I didn't have time to work on my own dreams and create my own income, like side income, right? But it's because I had this inner knowing. So you need to create that belief in yourself. Your only limitation is you. And that belief that you instill in yourself, your team is going to feel. The people that you talk to about Young Living products, they're going to feel that shift of you are excited and you're all in versus you're not really sure, you're wishy-washy, you're good when it's good, but you're down when the business is down. Okay. If you are emotionally riding the roller coaster of your graph, you are too attached emotionally to that. Okay. So you need to like let go of that, get back into a knowing energy, right? Where you just know it's going to happen and you know your car is going to make the trip to California, right? Like you just know it's going to happen. So, number one is belief. We had this belief, we had this knowing, and there is like a thing in quantum physics that states like you're not going to see the door of opportunity until you step. You're not, it doesn't happen where all of a sudden now people are like, hey, we just want to run with you all of a sudden. And then you're like, oh, it's time to get in momentum. It's here. People are excited. And now we're going to take momentum. No, it starts with you being excited, you taking action, your team seeing the action and the excitement, and then they get excited. And that's how we create momentum. You don't wait for the momentum train to come knocking on your door because it doesn't work like that. I mean, did anyone have that where all the opportunities just fell in your lap, or did you have to work for it? Right? People pray for a cake and then God gives them like flour and a bowl and a mixer and eggs. And they're like, I prayed for a cake. What is this? I never get what I asked for. And God's like, I gave you everything you needed. You got to do some action here too. Like, you got to meet me halfway. We have to act first, then the momentum comes. So it goes belief, action, doors will open where you never expected them to open. Okay. So whatever that action looks like right now, and maybe for you right now, it's working with your cross line because you don't have anybody that's in action right now. That's okay. There have been times in my journey where that's what I've had to do. Like, thank God for my cross line because I run with them so many times on this journey because my whole thing was I'm going to run with the ones who are excited. And wherever that is, I don't care. I don't care if they're 20 levels deep under me and I don't earn a penny off of them. I'm going to run with them because they're excited. And what happens when we get around the excited? We're excited. You know what I mean? Like, we feel their excitement, we feel their energy. And so if you're looking around right now and you don't have any of that anywhere, I mean, look at me if you need me, but like if you don't have any of that, you need to create it. You need to create it so that people have that in you. Okay. It starts inside. So have a knowing, start stepping. The doors will show once we start stepping. You're not going to see the opportunity before the action. It just doesn't work like that. Like, it's physics. It's quantum physics. Like, that's just how it works. So what you step towards is stepping towards you. What you seek is seeking you, but you have to take the action. Okay. So another thing when it comes to momentum, can you imagine an airplane trying to get off the ground if it was like starting, stop, starting, stop. Okay, we're really going here. No, we're going to stop. It doesn't look good out there. I'm just going to wait. Oh, we're going to go. Like, that plane would never take off because what does it take to create momentum? Right? You can't start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, or you're going to be starting from scratch every single time because then you have to re-get that ball rolling. You have to keep trying to keep getting that same plane off the ground. And in your first couple of years of network marketing, it's maximum effort, minimal results. And then what happens eventually is it's maximum results, minimum effort, but we've got to get that momentum train going, right? You don't go to the gym one time and do crunches and then hope you have abs. It doesn't work like that. It's consistency, right? Anyone that has abs, I mean, I don't, but like, good for you if you do, you know, it took meal planning, it took working out, it took drinking water, it probably took not drinking alcohol. Like, it probably takes all of these little things that you had to plan and every single day work towards that goal. And you knew what you wanted to look like, right? Or with any fitness goals or with health goals. You don't just like mysteriously have healthy food show up in your face, right? It takes a little bit more work. It takes planning and it takes consistency. I wish we could eat broccoli once and then just be healthy forever, but it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Nothing in life works like that. Everything comes down to consistency. Everything. And without the belief, without the knowing, and without stepping, how do we create consistency? We can't. We can't. So how do we stay consistent? Well, number one is motivation is a lie. I'm here to tell you guys that. I'm sorry if you believed that it came down to motivation, because it's BS. Because who here feels motivated every day to do the things that they need to do? Does anyone? I know I don't. No, there are some days where I'm like, I want to watch Sex in the City and like eat popcorn or like junk food. I don't want to do nothing, talk to no one, right? We all have those days. We're human beings. Yeah. And let me just also say that consistency does not mean constantly. Because I think people get scared with that word where they're like, oh my gosh, I got to show up amazing every single day. Like, forget this mountain. But consistency, maybe some days you're showing up like, here I am. And some days it's like you're messaging a few people and putting a post up and you don't have to like, right? It's like some days are smaller than others, but every day you're touching your business. You're doing something. And maybe that's just encouragement. Maybe that's planting seeds, but just make sure every day you are touching your business, because that's going to give you that consistency. And that's how we get momentum. And there's no other way to get momentum other than consistency. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to walk you over. It's a field trip with Gloria. Who's excited? I'm going to show you guys something. Okay, so this is a board that's in my office. I don't know if you can read it, but it says, I'm a diamond. It says, did you plant 2 seeds? Did you invite to that class or event? Did you encourage your team? Did you offer the products or business to somebody? And did you move your body? Because if you didn't, you are ignoring your dreams. That's harsh, I know, but I need to talk to myself like that. Do the dang things right, meow. Repetition is the mother of success. It's not fancy, guys. This isn't fancy work. It's not a billion different things every day or trying to guess the work. I know what I need to do. I need to offer this business and these services to people. Okay. And if you're like, I don't have people, well, then you need to get to planting seeds and nurturing relationships. And there's like billions of people out there, you guys, that are just begging for what we have. So if you're like, I don't know how to meet people or talk to people, then that's something that you need to work on within your self-belief. That's where the belief comes back in, because you're all amazing. And I know that Young Living attracts people that wants to help other people. I know that. I haven't met yet somebody in Young Living who's just in it for the money or like in it to be selfish. They fell in love with these products, this community, and they want to help other people. So stop holding yourself back. Okay. So motivation is a lie. Have a plan in front of your face, whatever it is you need. So for me, I don't have to write on there to go into my virtual office, because I just naturally start my day by looking. I love to track my numbers. I'm just like that now, which if you would have known me 5 years ago, I was like, numbers, boo, boring. But when you start making good money, you want to look at your numbers. Track your ER rates, by the way, guys, because that's your business. Okay. Does everyone understand that? ER is your business. Yeah. The people you have on Essential Rewards is everything. So that's a number that I track. So I didn't have to write that on my board. But if you're somebody who's like, oh, I hate looking at my virtual office, then you need to write that on the board. See, my thing is I could manage my team all day and it's so easy for me, but like reaching out and planting those 2 new seeds is something I need to have in my face, because I can like do a million things in a day and put that off. And it's the most important thing, right? Yeah. Okay. So have your plan in your face, and then, oh, yes.
I find that appearance is my opening line. I'm 86 years old. People say I'm in my 60s.
Yeah, I would have thought that.
And when they ask me how I stay so young, that's my opening to tell them about Young Living. Now, not all of you are 86 years old, but if you look happy and look healthy and look enthusiastic, people are going to say, how come you're so happy all the time? Well, because I'm a member of why Ellen, I take Ninja Red every day, 2 or 3 times and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know whether that helps, but
Yes, it does.
that's my input.
That is amazing input. I totally would not have guessed your age. I would have absolutely said like in your 60s. That's incredible. I am also 86. No, I'm just kidding. Well, you're looking good. See, Young Living works. And I love that it's like all different ages, all different walks of life. We're here for like the common goal of truly helping people. And I think sometimes too, when we get in this business and we start looking at ranks and we look at income, we can get kind of in our own head and forget what the purpose is, right? It's like we want to be more interested in others than in ourselves. So make sure if you still have that passion for helping others, then you're truly listening ways that you can help. And it makes it a lot easier to share when we're listening and we're putting others before us. I love that. Yes, if you're happy, people will ask. They'll be like, why are you doing so good? The world's kind of crazy right now. And you're like, my Young Living community and my oils, right? Oh my gosh, brilliant. Yes, I love that. So having a plan is what helps us with consistency. And you know what? I call it my success list. So I know how many people here have a to-do list that is like never ending, always growing. Things are always being added to it. Yeah, right? So do I. So I used to have my to-do list where I would have my to-do list and then I would have the things I needed to do for my business all in one list. And that was a really big mistake. Because then what I found is I was washing the dishes, putting the laundry away, mowing the lawn, and then putting my business stuff, kind of pushing it along the list. Like I have to get everything clean before I can sit and work, right? Does anyone ever feel like that? I need a clean surrounding. But it's like nothing is ever going to be perfect. Ever. The situations, it's just, it never is. So what I do now is before I get to my to-do list, I hit my success list off. It's like boom, 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 boom. Do that. And then I can go do the dishes because those dishes are just going to be there again in 40 minutes, right? Yes, yes. We can spend so much time doing stuff that doesn't actually push the needle, right? And then we're like, but we've done so much today. But if you haven't done the basic things, then it's like, it's just really, I love having it in my face because it's like a whole other level of honesty, right? Another thing that I have that I find really, really helps me personally is I have my vision board on my other side of me. So I have all my dreams so far. I'm still adding. I'm a lot more picky these days with what I put on there because I know how things do come true that I put on there. So it's a little emptier now because I'm like extra like, ooh, what do I really want to happen here? But here's the thing, you guys, I have it on both sides of me. So when I sit down to work, guess what? I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm doing it. If we don't have a really strong why, it's really hard to get momentum going because it's like, why are we doing all this action? So if you're like, why are we doing all this action? You need to know your why. That's what's missing because your why needs to pull you out of bed in the morning. And it needs to like, you're up at night before you go to bed, you're like, oh my gosh, like when this and this and this and this and this happened. So as I was saying, I've lived this business in 2 very different seasons. I, in the beginning, had this, like, my dreams were so much bigger than any excuse. I was under a crippling amount of debt. I was working at a job I didn't love at all, where I felt like I was being kind of used, if I'm being honest. Like the more I did, the more they would put on me, but they weren't paying me any more money. I was missing out on everything important in my kids' lives. Like that to me pulled me forward on the days where I was tired. When I was like, oh, I just worked a 14-hour shift and now I have to go to a class. True story though, as soon as I left that class, I'd be like, I have so much energy. I love these people. No matter how tired going into a 101, you leave feeling freaking uplifted and amazing. Okay, so I had all that. And then I hit platinum. And every limiting belief I ever had came and smacked me in the face. True story. And I told myself, I'm just so comfortable here. Comfort, you guys. Comfort is not a friend to momentum. Do you guys see that? Do you feel the connection there? Because if we're comfortable, then we're not really showing up the same. We can show up every day and do the things, but we don't have that same want, that same desire, that same enthusiasm, that same hustle as when it's like that why is super pulling us forward. So this team is getting back in momentum again. Our bar is going the right way again, which feels really, really great. And it's because I changed inside for myself personally. I got excited again for Diamond, is what's made me start to see momentum in my own business, where I'm getting signups, where I'm finding new builders again. That's what changed for me. And so that is my advice for you, is you need to be hungry, right? You ever heard Les Brown? Are you hungry? I listened to Les Brown every day when I was running for gold. That guy, my goodness, are you hungry? You got to be hungry. I was like, I'm so hungry. So you need to find the people, the energy, the podcast. You need to have why you're doing it, and you need to have a plan, and you need to commit to yourself. One thing that I decided in 2016 was that I was all in. And I'm all in still. And I always will be all in. Like, even when there's harder months, even when there's stagnant months, like, I'm here, I'm all in, because I freaking love what I do. I love this community. I love these products. Okay. And then your emotions don't get as attached to this. You know, it's just a part of the journey. I will also say too, that this season grew me more as a leader than this ever did. Okay. So if you're in that stagnancy place, ask yourself, what is it I need to learn? Because there's something that needs to be learned. Okay. And also 3 ways to move energy out of your body is deep breaths, dancing, movement, any kind of movement. Yeah. And sound. So like maybe put on some 90s R&B and sing really loud. I don't know, whatever, you shake your booty so you're not moody. Yes. Okay. So does this all make sense? Does this sound like something that we can do? Like, it sounds tangible, okay? Right? Belief, knowing, make a plan that stares at us. We're going to knock those things off the list before we get to our to-do list. And we're going to have our vision in front of us. Now, for me, I really like cutting out magazines. I love the whole process of creating a vision board. If you're not like that, then you can even write it out. There's apps where you can take pictures from Pinterest and literally put it in an app and look at it whenever you have free time. Okay. But keep those dreams in front of you. Because when I got comfortable, we got stagnant. Okay. Comfort is like, and I wasn't really that comfortable, if I'm being really honest. Like, I was comfortable, but not in a sense where my husband's home from work, right? Like, so we're comfortable. Yes, I'm very grateful, but like, I want my husband home. Yeah. So I had to get that dream back in front of me again. I had to get that, like, that vision, and I had to put my plan in front of me. And that has changed everything. Okay. If you are desiring something and it's like doing this in you, you hear it like often, you'll just be like washing the dishes and it's like, oh, you really want to travel with your family, or you really want that, to go on that vacation, or you really want that new vehicle, or you want your husband home, or you just want more money for Christmas, whatever it is, you like hear those nudges. Those are not in there by accident. Those were not planted in you by accident. They're in there for a reason. It's because you're deserving of it. Okay. Yeah. So who's ready to like get the momentum train coming? Say, if it's meant to be, it starts with me. Who can say that with me right now? If it's meant to be, it starts with me. Because I think it, and I've been guilty of it too, where I'm like waiting for a new excited person on a leg before I get that excitement again. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Once I got excited, made my plan, and started getting that like queen energy back, then my builder came. Surprise. Isn't that funny how it works out, right? Okay, so another thing that I just want to say before I let you guys go is we're going to talk just a little bit about just like embodying more safety in the system. Because how many people, when they think of like their dreams or where they want to go with this business or how much money they could make, it feels a little scary. Does anyone get that feeling in their gut where you're like, oh, but it feels scary? Yeah. Okay. That's because expansion to the ego feels like death. It's literally the same feeling in the body because the ego is like, you're not going to need me once you expand to these new heights. So let's just stay here where it's safe. Okay. So if we don't ground safety in our system and we start running for big goals, we will actually sabotage it unconsciously. How many people here have sabotaged something that goes, it's starting to go really good, and you're like, I'm going to mess this up before I get hurt, or like before something goes wrong. I'm going to be the first one to do it. You're not alone. We do it. It's because your brain is primitive. All of our brains are primitive. They are designed to look at everything as danger. Like literally everything is assessed. It's like assess the danger. Think of all the times you failed. Give me like a case study on all the ways this is going to go bad. That is how the brain is designed. So I just want you to, when you do feel those little like butterflies, just like ground in, like it is safe to go for my dreams. It is safe to expand into these new heights. It is safe to have this money. It is safe to let go of these old beliefs. It is safe to let go of my old identity. It is safe to release what other people expect of me or think of me. Okay, it's safe. And it's something that I literally have to tell myself probably 10 times a day. It is safe to make that post. It is safe to reach out to that person. It's safe. Okay, you have to like let your body know that, because we all go through that feeling of like, I don't know if I can hold all of that, right? Because this is who I've been. How can I hold all of this? But here's the thing. By the time you're holding all of this, you're going to grow into this version of you that it's so easy to hold. Okay, so don't even let that be a stress. I promise you. If you would have asked me when I first got started about being a platinum leader, I would have been like, no, not me. You guys, I sweat so bad my first class. I didn't even know if I was going to make it out alive. And now I'm talking on Zoom. So there you go. Growth is a real thing. Okay. So keep up listening to people like Les Brown or people that you follow on your podcast, people that are going to keep you excited. Have your vision in front of you, have your plan in front of you. Momentum starts by taking the action and then deciding that you're all in and you're going to stay consistent. Like, who's ready for the harvest season that is here? We're feeling it? Feeling it. Yes. Okay. Mwah. I love you all. Thank you for spending your morning with me. I appreciate you. And we will talk to you guys soon. Okay. Reach out if you ever have questions. I'm here. Okay. Mwah. Talk to you later. Bye, everybody.